Defending the Champions League is even more difficult than winning it, but we have to give credit to PSG. Congratulations to PSG for winning the Champions League. Back to back in succession, back to back in 2 years. And it's a very sad one for Arsenal, who has lost the Champions League yet again. They came so close to winning the Champions League. They came close in 2006. Now they are close again and yet unable to win it. This is arguably Arsenal's best side in over 2 decades. This is Arsenal's best side in a long time. So what went wrong? What went wrong in the final? In the final, when Arsenal went ahead, what went wrong in the final for Arsenal? In the final, that Arsenal could match everything PSG threw at them. What went wrong? At the end of the day, penalties is anybody's game, right? At the end of the day, penalties from the sport, anybody could lose, anybody could win. But take a look at it yet again. The person who lost 2 penalties for Arsenal, or the players who lost 2 penalties for Arsenal, has been so good for Arsenal this day. So you cannot look at those players and blame them 100% for throwing away penalties. Then you need to take a look on how Arsenal performed in the game for 120 minutes. Arsenal came into this game with so much conviction. Arsenal came into this game with so much belief. Arsenal came into this game with so much hope. Arsenal came into this game as a team that wants to show something, to cause an upset and to win their very first Champions League trophy. They came into this game as that team that had nothing to lose. Right? And in 5 minutes into this game, Havertz got a goal. At that moment, I was expecting Arsenal to still keep pushing, probably to get the second goal and close up shop. Because 1 goal lead is no lead in football. 1 goal lead is so fragile in football. 1 goal lead is something that can be easily taken away in football. From the very 5th minute, Arsenal packed the balls. From the very 5th minute, you cannot rely on that. This is the Champions League final. Packing the balls on the very 5th minute, on the very 5th minute after Arsenal went ahead through Kai Havertz, who scores important goals in his career. The one he did with Chelsea, he won them the Champions League in 2021. Right? So I was expecting Arsenal to still take the game to PSG. Don't respect the team. Don't give them too much time on the ball. Take the game to them. Yes, a lot of people believe if you take the game to PSG, you will open up shop and PSG will make use of your, play the ball behind and use. But Arsenal has shown yet again this season that they are a very good team they're a very good compact team in defense as well. So I wasn't expecting Arsenal to be so defensive as early as possible. That was too early to play 85 minutes being so defensive. I don't know the plan of Mikel Arteta, but being too defensive after going 1 goal ahead would actually keep piling too much pressure. You keep absorbing too much pressure, and 1 mistake will cost the team. And when the team concede, you will be forced to come out and play football. That is real. The mentality at that time will be so not as compact as it used to be at that time. Arsenal will be under pressure at that time because you've already went ahead and you were expecting, to be ahead at the time in terms of possession, in terms of, taking the team to PSG. If Chelsea had relaxed, been too defensive in the Club World Cup final, Chelsea must have lost that game. When Chelsea scored 1, they went again, they scored the second goal, they went again, they scored the third goal, because they know that 1 goal margin in football is too fragile. And this was a big mistake from Arsenal. This was a big mistake from Mikel Arteta. You don't play PSG that way. Yes, it's good to defend. If it was 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, you started defending all through, I would understand. That yes, you are 1 goal ahead and you still took the game to PSG. You still played PSG. You still matched them man for man. And 15 minutes to go, you close up shop. I would understand very well. But playing a defensive game from all through the game was suicidal for me. It was suicidal for me. Like I said, credits to some Arsenal players who stepped up. Like the likes of Mosquera. What a player. What a talent. What a player in Mosquera. He stood up today. He did very, very well today. Yes, he caused the penalty for Arsenal, but that was what is a player for the future. That is a player that stood up to everything Carrasqueta threw at him. That was the player that matched Carrasqueta man for man. That was the player that made Carrasqueta change wings most of the time. You have to give it to Mosquera. He did very well today. Gabriel and Saliba was very compact. They were very good today as well. They were superb today. I love the way Arsenal put PSG at bay. I love the way Arsenal took the game to them. Absorbing too much pressure, I should say, but that was too much. At that time, you give PSG time to regroup. You give PSG time to mop up pressure. You give PSG time to throw more pressure on. You give PSG time to change tactics, change everything. You give PSG time to dictate play. That's the right word, to dictate play. You cannot do that. And this is the Champions League final. You have to take the game. Even when Chelsea was defending against Manchester City in 2021 Champions League final, they still took the game to City. You could see Kante everywhere. When they say Kante covered 70% of the world, you think he was only in the defense or in the half of Chelsea? He was still taking the game to City. So you cannot absorb too much pressure like that, and feel that yes, it's over. PSG was not too creative in the first half. PSG was not that team that could out Arsenal in the first half. But I was expecting Arsenal to show some balls. I was expecting Arsenal to show something, especially in the second half. There was not a single save from PSG goalkeeper. The whole game. There was not a single save. That's how poor Arsenal was in attack. You cannot rely on set piece. I'll say this thing in my preview. You cannot rely on set piece. You have to also take the game to City. You have to also score goals. If you want to win the game, you have to score goals. Arsenal came close, I understand. But when they considered that penalty, that was when it changed. Because at that moment, you could see, because Arsenal, this group of players have not been in that situation before. You could see the fear, you could see the anxiety in the faces of the Arsenal player that, they've considered. They had the opportunity, they were in front, now they've considered. Now they have to take the game to Arsenal, to PSG. You could see the changes from Mikel Arteta and everything. But after those changes were made, how many attempts on goal? After those changes were made, how many times did you see Arsenal taking the game to City, creating so many chances, hitting the bar, or probably the goalkeeper saving so many chances? None. So you cannot really rely too much on your defensive ability if you want to win trophies like this. You have to also rely on your attacking instinct, your attacking threat as well. How many attacking threats did you see with Arsenal today? Where was Bukayo Saka? Where was Trossard? Where was Gabriel Martinelli? Where was Madueke? Gyökeres? The only thing that worked for Arsenal today was the defending for Arsenal, which was good in my opinion. But in attack, what did Arsenal bring to the game? What did Arsenal show they really wanted to win the game in attack? No. It was only in defense. So that was another issue for Arsenal today. That was another big one for Arsenal today. Luis Enrique has my respect. This is his third Champions League win as a coach. 2 with PSG, who has not won it in their history. Even with Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar, they didn't win it. Luis Enrique came, send out the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, and the rest, and he won it. He built a team that could play as a team, and they won it. So Luis Enrique has my respect. 3rd Champions League win in his career as a coach. What a career he has won. What a way to change the PSG team. Congratulations to PSG, who did brilliantly well. Even when they conceded, you could still see PSG remain so calm, remain resolute, did not change their approach, did not change how they play. You could still see them taking the game to Arsenal. You could still see them try to create chances. You could still see them attacking at every front. The adrenaline was not rushing. They still remain calm. They still remain resolute. They were still building up. They were still trying to open up Arsenal. Even when Arsenal became too narrow, they were still trying to open up Arsenal and score goals. They were still trying, even as Arsenal was so compact in defense, they kept on pushing. They kept on pushing to the very last. That is the hallmark of a very good team and a very experienced coach at last. I said it in my preview. I said the experience of the coach will matter. When Arsenal scored, if Arteta was super experienced in this kind of situations, you wouldn't tell the Arsenal players to be super defensive and have nothing to offer in attack. Arsenal was super defensive and had nothing to offer in attack. That is the difference in experience between Mikel Arteta and Luis Enrique. And he showed today. Penalties is anybody's game. I get it. But for it to last up to that point, then you should know that yes, Arsenal tried, but still Arsenal had the advantage and threw it away. And you cannot blame the likes of Gabriel and the likes of Eberechi Eze for throwing penalties away. No, you can't. You can't blame them. It's penalties. Anything can happen. But at the end of the day, Arsenal came so close. They saw it. It was in sight. It was in sight. They saw it to win it. But at the end of the day, they couldn't win it. And that's what football, can offer. But let me know what you think concerning this game and share your thoughts in the comment section. Did PSG actually play to win, or was Arsenal super defensive or too defensive in this game? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell. I come your way again next time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.